find the equation of a parabola in 5.3. So for this section, the main thing you want to remember is the standard form equation of a parabola. Y equals ax minus h squared plus k. That's your key to this section. So only 3 examples. For once I can confidently say this will not take a long time. Find the equation of the following parabola, this blue parabola right here. Well, where do you think you need to look first? Bing, right there. You want to get the vertex. So the vertex is what? 2, 4. 2, 4. Okay, so we can already take that information, the 2, 4, and we can fill in some of the information in our standard position equation here. So let's do that right now. Now, common mistake, this is not 4, right? How do we get the vertex? The vertex comes from the h and the k. The vertex is actually hk, right? That's how we get the vertex in standard form. So if we put the 2 into the h and the 4 into the k, what we have is y equals a x. Now careful, you're going to put minus 2 or plus 2 here. Remember, it's always kind of opposite, x minus 2, right? Because in order to make it x minus 2, h has to be 2. If h was negative 2, then this would be negative negative, which is plus. So x minus 2 squared, don't forget the squared, plus 4. The y value of the vertex is always the same sign. Okay, we're almost there. What's the only other thing we need? All we need now is a. If we could figure out a, we'd be done. All right. Remember when we drew lines before, I always stressed over and over and over that the idea with the line is that every single point on the line satisfies the equation for the line. Well, it's the same thing with the parabola. This parabola is made up of how many points? Infinite. All these ones you see here, point, 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 and they go down forever. All these points, point, 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 and they go down forever. And what's the relationship between this blue parabola and the equation we're finding? Well, the relationship is that every single one of these points on the parabola, if you plug it into the equation, it works. Like the x value and the y value will work. It'll satisfy the equation, we say. All the points that aren't on the parabola, they don't work. They will not work if you plug them into the equation. So we need to get the a value. Pick any other point besides the vertex. So they actually show you here one point, this point here, pretty important point. Why is that important? Because it's the y-intercept. You could pick that one. Don't pick this point. That would be ridiculous, right? Because we don't know where that point is. Don't pick this point. Here's one you might be able to pick. That's not a bad one. On the drawings I give you on quizzes and tests, I'll make sure there's a dot there so you know for sure, so you don't have to be worried about, well, is it really going through that point? I can't really tell. I'll make sure that we put a dot there. Now, let's say that you pick this point here and your friend picks this point here. You're still going to get the right answer, okay? It doesn't matter. So, I don't know. Let's pick, so we have the vertex is 2, 4, and we have one other point. Which one you want to pick? Pick one. You picked this one, didn't you? I could tell. Okay, so we'll go with that one. Point 1, 2. If you pick this one, just pretend I guessed it. Okay. Okay. Or if you pick this one, go ahead, try this one. You'll see it still works. Okay. So here's a point. This is the x value of that point. This is the y value of that point. Oh, so we can plug those two numbers into the x and y. So let's do that. We'll put, instead of y, we'll put 2 equals a. We still don't know a. X is 1. Minus 2 squared plus 4. How many unknowns do we have? 1. Perfect. That's what we want. We want to have only one unknown because now we can solve this thing. So let's do it. 2 equals a. 1 minus 2 is negative 1, but when we square it, you end up with 1. So you end up with just 1a plus 4. Oh, subtract 4 from both sides. We got the answer. A equals 2 take away 4 is negative 2. The value for a is negative 2. Alright, someone out there said, but I didn't want to pick that point. I wanted to pick this point. Let's just quickly show them that it would still work. So, writing over here, this point this time is what? What point's that? That is the point, be careful, it's not negative 4, 0, it's 0, negative 4. So again, if I plug that point into the red thing here, I get negative 4 equals a. X is 0. 0 take away 2 squared plus 4. Okay, let's solve it. Negative 4 equals 0 take away 2 is negative 2 times, 0 take away 2 is negative 2, squared is 4 times a, so 4a, right? Plus 4, subtract 4 from both sides, I get negative 8 equals 4a, divide by 4, I get a equals negative 2. Any single point on this parabola will work, but will give us the same value, a equals negative 2, but you want to pick pretty points. That point would be good, point would be good, this point would be good. Those would be your choices. You can't use the vertex. I'll leave it for you to see what happens if you try the vertex. It just won't work out. Okay, don't go on to the next question. This happens all the time. People get the a value, they get all excited, yay, I'm finished. What they forgot to do is we're supposed to find the equation. We haven't found the equation yet. So we almost had the equation here. What did we still need to find? The a value. So now we'll rewrite this. Y equals negative 2, because we found the a value, x minus 2 squared plus 4. Finished. Good job. Check. Now some of you might say, Mr. Wadge, I didn't need to do that for the a value. I could tell the a value right away because it's over 1 down 2 and then over 1 down 6, and I know from my step pattern that that means the a value is negative 2, and if you can figure that out, that's great, no problem. I'm just not going to spend a lot of time discussing it here. Okay, and also for those people who are clever enough to figure that out, it won't help you much in the next question, because this time they don't give you the grid or the graph, they just talk about what you have. But either way, what you need is the vertex and one other point, and that's what you have here. So I know it's written right there, but let's just write it again. The vertex is 5, 2. The y-intercept, or my point, let's put it that way, my other point is a y-intercept. So I don't want to just put negative 3. That's not a point. How do you name the point negative 3? Like the y-intercept at negative 3. I'll go up here and show you. It's right here, right? That's the y-intercept at negative 3. What point is that? That's 0, negative 3. Make sure you write the 0 in there, or think about the 0, because otherwise you're not going to get this answer right. Okay, now we just do exactly what we did before. Y equals, what is it? A equals x minus h squared plus k, and start plugging in. So let's put the vertex points in. Those points go in the h and the k. I should have done it with negative this time. Oh well. So we get y equals a x minus 5, because you take the opposite of that one, squared plus 2. Is this practically the same question we just did? Where was this vertex? Oh no, it's quite different. Okay, so that's good. And now we take the point. I mean, once you get good at this, you can do it all in one go. You can plug everything at once, but I like to do it in 2 steps when we get started. So we're going to plug the x value in there. We're going to plug the y value in here, and we'll see where we're at. So we'll have negative 3 equals 0. Or sorry, it's a. I was writing an a. I really was. A 0 minus 5 squared plus 2, and we solve that. Negative 3 equals 0 take away 5 is negative 5. Negative 5 squared is 25, so we have 25a plus 2. Take away 2, negative 5 equals 25a, divide by 25, divide by 25. You end up with a equals negative 5 over 25. Why don't we put it in lowest terms? Negative 1 over 5, right, is our a value. Now, that's not the answer, though. We got to go back up to here. Remember, we had everything except a. We're going to rewrite that, but this time we're going to write, instead of a, we're going to write negative 1/5 x minus 5 squared plus 2. I do prefer fractions. It's easier to graph, and it's more exact instead of having, like, if you have an irrational number that doesn't have repeating decimals, it's more accurate. So if you can do fractions, that'd be great. And the a value is not going to be totally bizarre numbers. We'll just make sure it's somewhat easy to deal with fractions, I suppose.